Welcome back to the Power of Personal Branding and Manifestation podcast with your host. It's me, Malika, content creator, entrepreneur, and your girl to personal branding and manifestation. Today, I really wanted to touch on the subject of why niching down is not the way to go and why I don't believe in niching down. Okay, because I feel like we've all heard that advice. It's like, okay, the best way to succeed and grow your social media and grow your account or your business is like to be niching down. Like that's what you have to do. Like you have to be niching down. And this is the thing that starts happening when you are simply niching down. First of all, you start really feeling limited and you start feeling like you are in like this box, right? And you start feeling like everything is about is like this one singular thing, right? And then you start feeling like this is not like you, right? Because as humans, like we have so many things that makes us. Like we have so many different things, we have so many different interests, we have a whole personality, we like believe in different things, like like there's so many things and so many aspects that makes us human. And so by niching down, what ends up happening is like people start feeling so limited and uninspired, and it just starts feeling kind of like surface level. And most of the time what I see is that if you are like only focused on being a teacher, and what I mean by being a teacher is really like all your content is like how to do this, how to get this outcome, how to do this, and like it's all like just educational content. What ends up happening is that your audience actually only learn to take from you and not care about you. Right? And so that's what ends up happening. It's like you start becoming a teacher and there's no like real relationship that is being formed with you and your audience. And so they don't have a reason to care about your service. They don't have a reason to care about you as an influencer. They don't have a reason to care about like you as a person or what you have to offer. Okay, so that's what ends up happening when you're only doing like educational and how to, you're like becoming this teacher and people just take from you, and but they're like after that they like dip out, right? And that's not good, okay? Because yes, you want to like have like educational content, that's like really good, it is, but if that's all you are doing, you are not building like the whole aspect of what people need in order to care about you and what you have to offer, basically. And so this is why I believe in building an authentic personal brand. Why? Because a personal brand is basically built upon who you are as a person. To build a personal brand is basically to build an authentic online presence based on who you are, all while showcasing your expertise. And so this is the difference. It is built upon who you are as a person. And so this will allow your audience to grow alongside you, right? And so they will get on this journey with you, and they will actually get to care about you, what you have to offer, because of that element that it is built around you, basically. And it's kind of like the same principle as when you watch like a TV show. It's like, imagine if they're like, okay, this is basically the topic, this is the topic of the show, but you will never get to see anything about these characters and you will never get to know them, right? It's like like a TV show cannot survive on a topic alone. We need depth, we need to see personality, we need to get attached to these people, because this is what makes it so good. It's like it makes it so good because we get attached to these people. We want to know, we want to be there for the ride. Like, this is what makes your audience loyal to you and want to come back for more, because people find you through the content, but they stay for you. And now I also want to touch on what isn't a personal brand, okay? So what isn't a personal brand is thinking that having a personal brand is simply posting about your life and being like, this is what I do in my day, and just posting basically all about you and your life, all right? Like, that is not building a personal brand. That is simply you just showing what you do after work or during work or your day, is truly about, basing your online presence on who you are, all while showcasing your expertise. Okay, so whatever it is that you have expertise in, right? And the thing about having a personal brand is that you also want to really showcase your values, okay? So like, what do you believe in? What do you stand by? What do you don't stand by? What do you believe in? What do you find funny, okay? And why? Because this allows you to attract an audience that is actually aligned with you, deeper than just, the how-to videos, the like educational videos, because everyone can look at a how-to video and be like, oh, that's good. Yeah, it's good. But like, that's not what's going to make you attract and actually really engage a follower or audience or client, right? Like, in order to actually get that aligned client, in order to actually get that aligned audience, you actually need to start showcasing more and more of your value, of your mission, of what you believe in, because what that's going to do, it's really going to start filtering through the wrong people. You're really like filtering more and more and more, because you only want to have the people that are going to be very like engaged, that are going to really care about what you have to offer. Okay, and the next thing is going to be showcasing your personality, okay? Because nobody wants someone that's like so professional, because that's not relatable. Nobody like relates to someone that's like so professional, and it's not like, there's no depth to that, right? Like, there's no depth to that. And so we really want to showcase your personality. And every personal brand has like a backstory. This is also the reason why I find that like all of these storytelling posts that I have made with my girlfriend have done so well on our joint account, because it gets people so engaged into where we're going next. It gets people engaged to know like, oh, this is where they are now. Oh my God, like, this is like so interesting to them. They want to know about the story. They want to root for us. They want to be like, oh my God, like, what more is there to this, right? And it's the same thing with your personal brand. It's like, if you start showcasing a bit more of like your story, where you're from, what's your background, like, why do you do what you do, people have a reason to care now. They have a reason to care because they understand like, oh my God, like, this is where she come from. Like, this makes so much sense now. And now they're like hooked for the ride, right? And sometimes like, I feel like people get so like hooked into looking at like another creator, and they're like, oh my God, like, this creator is like in the same field as me, so I'm gonna start like being like them, right? Or like talking like them. But that's the thing, like, you need to work alongside your own personality. It needs to be based upon who you are as a person, like authentically, like truly, right? And so we don't want like to have this person that's like super like energetic and whatever, and then we start working with you and then it's like you're not like that, like, because again, what we're doing is that we're really filtering through the right people again, okay? And this is really going to allow you to attract and align clientele and align audience that really, really like align with you, and that are actually going to be your dream clients, actually going to be your dream audience that is engaged with you. And when you are building your personal brand, you always want to be showcasing an expertise. And so you let's say you are in the service field or you're an influencer, right? Like, what is your expertise in? Like, what is your knowledge in that you can really start showcasing that alongside showcasing who you are as a person and getting to know you beyond just the business, beyond just the content. And next, you also want to start adding in things that you love or your opinion, right? Because let's say, for example, for me, like there's so many podcast episodes that I mentioned that like I have my matcha. Also, I'm like kind of like on a matcha detox because I've been really abusing it lately and it's like not hitting the same. So I need to like cut it out for now. But you know, I feel like I post a lot about matcha. I am always posting on my Instagram like, oh, I just grabbed my matcha from Starbucks. I grabbed my matcha, like I have my matcha with me. And why that is because I'm sharing like, oh my god, this is what I love, and my audience knows that. Like they know stuff about me that are so random that are not even connected to like what I do, because of the fact that like I'm letting them get to know me. Like what are the things that I love? What are my other interests, right? Like it's like I am a human being. I'm letting them get to know me as a real relationship, that if they were to get to know me in real life, like they would like get an accurate image of me. All right. And this is so funny that I'm saying this because I actually saw someone that I haven't seen in a long time, and we were just catching up, and she was asking me like, oh my god, what's new? And she literally already knew my whole life. And I had nothing else to say because of my personal brand, right? And so this is like what keeps people engaged. Like she was literally following through everything that I was going through and doing, and like it makes it interesting. It makes like it adds depth into like more than just your expertise that you are showcasing. You can also even add in like things that like you find funny or things that like frustrate you. Like, you know, for example, like I posted this TikTok with my girlfriend, which performed incredibly well simply because like it's relatable and it's funny, and like it's like something that like people want, and they were like, oh my god, like that's so funny. But like that's just like one example, right? And so that is what it means to like be showing a bit more of like your personality, a bit more of like you. And now if you are watching this and you're like, okay, listen, I'm actually ready to start building an authentic personal brand that feels good, that feels aligned with me, that will actually get people to care about my offer and care about me and make me like loyal client, like attract the best client, attract the best audience for myself, right? Like if you are ready to do that, I invite you to book your free discovery call with me where we'll discuss how we can start building your authentic personal brand that aligns with you and the result that you are actually looking to have, that aligns with your goals of why you want to do this in the first place. If you enjoyed this episode, please do share it with someone else who you think would benefit from this episode. And as always, I will see you here back next week, same time. Bye. Thanks so much for tuning in, and don't forget to leave your 5-star rate and review on the podcast. I love to know what you guys think of the episodes, and I will meet you here next week.